When I provide training in a corrections environment, I make a point to do two things. First and foremost, I use scenarios, examples, and stories that relate to law enforcement or corrections in particular. Here's why. It's a jail. It's different here. That won't work here. That's what you're going to hear throughout the entire training experience if, in fact, you use scenarios and stories that the participants can't easily and readily relate to. Here's the challenge that you are confronting as well as the staff. The jail is a different environment in many ways to work in. And in some ways, I can see why it might seem as if the rules don't quite fit. You have to be honest about that part. Now, as a result of that, the people in your room might have a tendency to want to dismiss the legitimacy of the rules. Your job is to make sure they see how the rules apply, not whether or not they like them, but that they see how the rules apply. And using examples that are specific to that environment goes a long way. Number two, you need to be able to explain, if you are teaching this topic, the gray areas of the harassment rules. They hate the gray areas more than they hate any other part of the rules because the gray areas make them more vulnerable. You can't fix that. You can't make that go away. You can't give them a checklist to say these are things that are always the case in terms of harassment and these are the things that are always not the case. You can't do that. But you can, in fact, do the following. You can make sure they understand where the gray areas are. You can explain clearly why the gray areas are. And number three, you can give them guidelines on how to manage their own behavior. If you can do those two things when you are training correction staff, you have a much better chance of getting them to respect you and getting them to want you to come back.